The quarterback, Mike Shear, to hold with 6.8 on the clock. Veers, kick is up. It's good! 1.3 on the clock. Andrew Veers splits the uprights.
Just an absolutely devastating loss for Staples.
Yeah. I would not want to have been walking down the streets of Ridgefield, Connecticut and seeing Mars Petraccio coming down with the girls.
Yeah, he was positive in the, and that you heard Resnick setting the stage. He did a wonderful job. And then when the ball cleared the uprights and they finally stopped the clock, there's 1.7 seconds left in the game. Both teams played good defense. Don't know exactly if the offenses are up to the standards.
Right.
But when you look at Xavier and Staples, the proud traditions that they have, neither made it to the postseason last year. Xavier 7-3, Staples 8-3. Neither made it. Buddy.
Yeah.
Guess where I live?
Norwalk?
Got that right. You know what Norwalk's known for?
Yes, something very odd.
What?
Isn't it like the something capital of the world?
Oh, it's the oyster capital
exactly.
of the world. Now it could be the tri-state NFL capital of the world.
What?
Just saying, Kevin Pierre Lewis, a Norwalk kid who you did a feature on when he was at King.
Silas Red.
4th round draft choice by Seattle. Made the team. Silas Red, who began his career, he was his teammate at King, Norwalk kid at King, went to Penn State when all that stuff happened at Penn State, left to go to Southern Cal, injury-plagued senior year, didn't get drafted. Free agent Washington Redskins, made the 53-man.
Yes.
And in week 2, this past weekend, touchdown.
I saw.
That's 2, pretty good, right? How
sure.
about DJ Morrell?
Oh, wow.
Played at Norwalk High.
Wow.
Graduated Norwalk High, went to Dean Junior College. Old Dominion was starting as a Division I program. Went to Old Dominion. Did not get drafted. Free agent Detroit Lions. Didn't make the team. My buddy Doug Morrell took him to Buffalo.
Doug Marone.
Doug Marone. On the practice squad for the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
3 kids from the city of Norwalk. How about that?
And isn't Silas Red's dad a policeman?
He is.
In Stanford?
Yes.
He is, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Unbelievable, right?
How about those 2 guys on the same high school team? Now they're in the league together.
And then more Norwalk news. Did you hear Stephen Enoch? Remember Steve, the big guy? He transferred to St. Thomas More, going to play for J.R. Quinn, and announced over the weekend that a year from now, he'll be playing for Kevin Ollie and the Huskies of UConn.
Wow.
A lot of Norwalk news.
Like the big nutmeg.
Yeah, that's right. You know, every time I see him, I think of you, and that never caught on, and it should have. What's his name again? Oh, my God. He played for Jared Quinn at St. Oh, he plays for the... All
right, we'll think of it before the show's over.
Oh, my God. He's on the team. He's on the team that just won the... Oh my God, that's
terrible.
This never
we start over.
To us. All right, let's do some football. Hey, listen. Fairfield Prep makes it to the state final last year. Played all the way till December 19th. Got whacked by Southington in the Big Boy Championship.
In the second half, they were up 14 at the half.
It was a good game. The first half was very good. Southington had some wonderful, wonderful players. What we saw in
that game was almost on Christmas.
I know it was.
December 20th.
It was 19th.
Was it?
A Thursday. It was crazy at West Haven. I love it.
Because they got snowed out the week before, right? Or something like that?
Yeah. I'm still trying to think of who the kid is from St. Thomas More. What we saw in this game, Jim, and I didn't think the game would be good. Last year, Fairfield Prep, it was a waste of time to play Stanford. They shut him out, blah, 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 blah. But in this game, Colton Smith, who's going to Fordham, very, very athletic quarterback, runs it better than he throws it, okay? But I knew nothing about Jalen Brown from Stanford High. This was, if you like defense, you probably shouldn't have gone to the game. If you like interesting quarterback play, you should have gone to the game. Fairfield Prep, they got to get better in the secondary in a hurry. They have to. So let's show some highlights.
Not too often you give up 40 and win going away.
Exactly. Here's one of the few mistakes Brown made. He's a senior. John Snopkowski, he's going to pick it off. And this was about the only defensive play you'd see the other night at Fairfield Ludlow High School. The Prep can't play at University this year because they're building a beautiful new lacrosse stadium. Here's Brown. Really attacked the sides of the field against the Jesuits. That tied it at 14. Next possession, Colton Smith. This is what he does. This is a guy that over 3,000 yards, a total offense a year ago. He's playing defense this year, too. 59-40. Coach Shea's guys get off on the right foot, but they have to clean it up in a hurry. They have St. Joe's Trumbull and Abdul Basir this weekend.
The Colton Smith is one of the pure dual threat quarterbacks you'll see in the state of Connecticut. And it's like, he was so good last year, you're almost surprised he's back this year. Like, wow, he was just a junior last year? So that's going to be a lot of fun for them. But, you know, again, a little defense got to be mixed in along the way.
His Fairfield Ward quarterback, Brandon Bisak.
Yes.
Picked up a lot of notoriety in the summer in these 7-on-7s.
He's an interesting study because he walked through the doors at Ward and he was like 5'9", and he's like one of these kids who just kept growing 2 to 3 inches a year, and now he's like in the 6'4", 6'5" range, I think, and he's like, all of a sudden he's got some presence at the position.
Watched him throw. Like I can't get into the shorts and the t-shirt throwing, so I went up to watch him in a 4-way scrimmage. I stood there in the stands. I watched him throw. Like there's word that Virginia Tech. Bees, I'm just telling you right now, Virginia Tech's a whole different level. Just be smart. Don't chase it. What you want to do at the next level is you want to get throws. Go to a place that wants you. That's very, very important.
His biggest problem, Mike, is because he plays at Ward, and there's nothing wrong with playing at Ward, but you don't get a lot of exposure.
I'm going to tell you this, and I think it was Fairfield Ward before they went to the one high school and then split back to two. One of the greatest receivers in 28 years doing this I ever covered was Walt Regula. He went to Bowling Green from Ward, or maybe it was just Fairfield High School. Played for Gus Lundeen, the AD at Greenwich now. Just an unbelievable receiver. So we'll see. Let's go see some highlights. Let's see what this guy Bisak's all about. Big kid. Here you go. Getting back there. Okay, yep, rips it pretty nice across the middle to Ryan Brown. And this is against Foreign, who has a good quarterback, put up big numbers a year ago. Fourth quarter, this puts Ward up 24-7, TJ Gallagher. And they would hang on to win 24-21. So there you go. So we'll see. He'll be a fun kid to track because he created a lot of buzz in the offseason. In
the summer. I mean, listen, we're not big 7-on-7 guys, but 7-on-7s are about the quarterbacks. And, you can look good and you can elevate your stock.
You know who I felt good for last year and then felt horrible for? Same team, same season. It just happened like that. I was excited when Harding, they had been down for so long for football. Known more as a basketball school. And then Jack Cochran comes there, the much celebrated coach. They get out to a 2-0 start. Norwalk beats them. And then he just disappears. He abandoned those kids. The word was it was for health reasons, but nobody really heard from him. And that's why it was a very tough thing for the Presidents to bounce back from that. So that's why I was so happy they started this season again like they did last year, and hopefully some momentum. And they have this freshman quarterback who, we better learn this cat's name. It's hard to pronounce because if he's doing what he's doing, Jump Street, first game freshman, we're going to talk about him for some time.
The Famacon era has begun. Tayson Famacon to Jazari Mullins brings it down. The Presidents were inside the red zone. Look, they're excited. They should be. They'd score 3 plays later, 8-3 Harding. Under middle of that first half, Tayson again goes for it all, hits Tyshawn Walker. Harding 16-3 at the half. They go on to win it 38-10. But that is a 9th grader slinging it, Mike. 278 yards for him. And Daquan Woods with 3 touchdown runs.
You remember a year ago when I watched Han? They had won 26 in a row. They came to New Canaan. And I said New Canaan was going to run the table. They were going to play 15 games, win 15 games. They ended up going 14-1. And I thought that when New Canaan went up to Madison this year, that Han would just say, that's it. Forget it. Ba-ba-bam. Han was the number 2 rated team in the state coming into the first game of the year. New Canaan beat them. Michael Collins, this junior quarterback, 6'3", threw 3 touchdown passes
Wow.
in the game. And
Hey.
La Police is a gamer.
It's like quarterback you over there at New Canaan, man.
Yeah.
The next guy just steps in, and that's last year, Mike, for New Canaan, every game was like a Broadway show. All right, yeah, forget the one Darien lost, but every game it was like a show. You know what I mean? And it's like, so this year you can't expect that, and now it's sort of back to just sort of what we do: go out, execute, and win football games. And I thought they proved something in this win over here.
They did. You know who I was happy for? The defensive coordinator, Chris Silvestri. Good guy, straight shooter, tells you the truth. And their defense played very well in this game. Now, listen, Hans, top running back, did not play in the game. But they did what they had to do. And all of a sudden, I'll be honest, they lost, I think, 28, 30 seniors. It's like, okay, they're never going to be bad. But I'm not thinking that they're going to. Now, all of a sudden, 1 week into the season, it's like, okay, let's kind of look ahead. Thanksgiving Day. If Darien wins this week against Greenwich, if Darien wins against St. Joe's on Thursday, October 2nd, like a 2 or 3 o'clock game, all of a sudden, you start saying to yourself, man, New Canaan, Darien. Speaking of Greenwich,
Yeah.
I talked to our buddy, Rich Albanizio, this morning.
Coach Al.
Yeah, we're going to visit with him on Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to stop by. I text Trafone. I have not heard back. Trafone, I love him. He is the worst. I couldn't believe when he picked up the phone when I called him. I think the last time he picked up the phone, Idris Price was playing at McMahon when I called him in the mid-'90s. Somebody tell Trafone to get back to me tomorrow if they see this. Greenwich was very, very sloppy. 7 turnovers, 10 penalties.
7?
Yeah. And the kid Longy, Austin Longy, going to Fordham, he's as excited as exciting as any player in Connecticut, but you can't overcome that. So now they got to practice for a week.
Yeah.
Okay, now they got to get ready for this. Friday night, we'll see we'll see if Greenwich, we're going to know if they had a good week of practice because Darien comes to Steve Young Stadium Friday night. So Darien, a lot of people think, with that defense. And by the way, they may want to stop reading their clippings. They went up to New Haven Friday afternoon, one of those 3 or 4 o'clock starts, kind of a scrimmage type feel to it. And Darien allowed a whole bunch of points to Hillhouse. They won the game. Timmy Graham, his first start for graduated Silas Wiper, my man Timmy threw 3 touchdown passes. So hopefully we're going over to Darien on Thursday if Trafone gets back to us.
He will.
Buddy, you talk about pressure.
Oh,
Pressure.
rubber match.
Coach Panapata. How about this from Trinity Catholic? He has a Trinity team that didn't win a game last year.
Amazing.
They take on a Sheehan team in the FCAC SCC Showdown that embarrassed the Crusaders a year ago. It's FCAC 8, SCC 8.
It all comes down to this, and who's the FCAC team we're putting in there to finish it off? 0-13 Trinity Catholic last year.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes the team you don't think is the right team is the right team.
Thank God Anthony Lombardi transferred from Mayapack High School. The quarterback was sensational
They got
in this
it done.
game. So here's the way it played out. The FCAC, for the 2nd year in a row, beats the SEC. I love this. I don't know if it's going to happen anymore. There are your winners, and there are your losers. It still pains me that Staples lost that game 3-0. How you doing? So last week, there were 2 top 25 teams from Connecticut in our Tri-State Big Boy poll. This week, there'll be 3. And in the small school, we didn't do it last week. This is the first week of it. There will be 1 small school from Connecticut in the Tri-State. And I will be picking the team that's in that small school poll. I will be picking them and put a face on it. I am picking 2 games from Connecticut this week. So I picked 1 game from Connecticut last week. I didn't win it.
No?
I struggled last week.
What'd you say?
I took Staples. That was a tough one.
And late, too.
That was a tough one.
And late. Hey, listen. You know what? Sometimes there's a little room for some new blood. Nice job by Trinity Catholic, Mike. That 0-13 was like a dark cloud over the program.
Yeah.
Those guys have to feel good. It didn't take them long to get number 1 in the column.
Big Coach Panapata, 1-0 on the season. Congratulations, buddy.